you will need a tape measure, the measurement sheet, a pencil, and a rope. We are going to take the measurement of the sail pack. We will use the tape measure unrolled and a rope which will help us take the circumference. We will start by the measure A, the mast circumference. With the rope, I measure the circumference of the mast. I keep my fingers on the exact dimension and I measure the length with the tape measure unrolled. Here we have 23 inches or 58 centimeters for measure A. For measure B, we will measure the distance between the mast and the back side of the main sail headboard. Here, the measurement of B is 4 inches or 10 centimeters. We will now take the circumference of C, situated at 12 inches or 30 centimeters from the clew. We use the rope to measure the circumference of the sail only. Without compressing the sail. This way, your sail pack won't be too tight. Again, we place the rope next to the tape measure to get the exact length. Here, we have C equaling 31 inches or 79 centimeters. For the measures D, E, and F, we will place marks on the bottom to facilitate the process. These measures correspond to circumferences at different locations of the boom. First, we measure the total length of the boom to calculate the middle. Here, the middle is at 88 inches or 225 centimeters. Measure E will be taken at 40 inches from the mast, and measure F will be taken at 20 inches from the mast. Now that we have our marks on the boom, it will be easier to take your circumferences. Measure D, circumference at the middle of the boom. Here is our mark. We keep the rope straight. We do not compress the sail and only measure the circumference of the sail. D is 50 inches or 127 centimeters. Measure E, circumference at 40 inches of the mast. We will use the second mark we did. Again, we do not compress the sail. E is 63 inches or 160 centimeters. Measure F, circumference at 20 inches of the mast. We will use the third and last mark. F is 64.5 inches or 164 centimeters. Measure G, circumference at the back side of the mast. We make sure we go on top of the sail and over the shackle. That is our biggest circumference. G is 82.5 inches or 210 centimeters. We are now going to move to the second page of measurements. For these next measures, you will only need the tape measure as we will only be measuring distances. Measure H is the distance from the back of the mast to the clew. We make sure the tape measure is stretched. Here, H is 167 inches or 424 centimeters. The next measures correspond to your reefs. We will make openings on the sail pack to make sure they are free. Depending on your model, you could have 2 or 3 reefs. The third reef is optional in the measurement sheet. For measure I, we measure the distance from the back of the mast to the first reef plume. Here, I is 142 inches, or 360 centimeters. We directly continue to the second reef in the measurement of J. Here, J is 126 inches, or 320 centimeters. If you have a third reef, take measure K the same way. We will now measure L, the gooseneck length. We will measure the distance from the mast to the entrance of the rail in the boom. Here, L is 5 inches, or 13 centimeters. The last measure is measure M, which is the height measure from the boom to the headboard. We have here 35 inches, or 90 centimeters. You will also need to inform the number of lazy jacks you have. It could be 3 or 4. Our sail packs are compatible with loose-footed sails and sails with a foot rope. Please let us know which sail features you have. Our sail packs are not compatible with foot slides or slugs.